5 horrific stories about shadows in the night. 1. Following in the shadows. The city had always been my refuge, a place where the anonymity of the bustling streets and the cacophony of life drowned out the voices of my fears. But one fateful evening, as the clock's hands inched towards midnight, my sanctuary was tainted by an insidious presence, the feeling that I was not alone. It began as a whisper of unease, a creeping sensation that slithered down my spine. I walked briskly down the dimly lit streets, my footsteps echoing eerily in the silence of the night. The shadows cast by the flickering street lamps danced at the periphery of my vision, conspiring to play tricks on my mind. I brushed off my paranoia as the natural discomfort of being alone after dark. But then, as I turned a corner, I saw it. A silhouette. A dark figure lurking in the shadows, barely discernible but undeniably there. My heart quickened, and I forced myself to continue walking, my footsteps echoing loudly in my ears. With every step, the shadowy figure seemed to draw closer, an amorphous specter that refused to be left behind. Panic gnawed at the edges of my sanity as I quickened my pace, my breaths coming in ragged gasps. My irrational mind desperately sought explanations, an overactive imagination, perhaps a trick of the light. But deep down, I knew the truth. Night after night, the sinister presence persisted, always a few steps behind, like a hunter toying with its prey. I could feel its malevolence, an oppressive weight in the pit of my stomach. It wasn't content with merely observing, it wanted something more, something I couldn't comprehend. As the days turned into weeks, my life became a never-ending nightmare. I dared not venture out after dark, barricading myself inside my apartment, curtains drawn tightly shut. Sleep became a fleeting luxury, for even in my dreams the shadowy figure haunted me, its form shifting and morphing into grotesque shapes. My days became a haze of fear and paranoia. I began to lose touch with reality, unable to trust even my closest friends and family. The shadowy figure was all-consuming, an omnipresent force that threatened to consume my very soul. Desperation pushed me to seek help. I consulted experts in the supernatural, mediums, and psychics, but their attempts to rid me of the malevolent entity proved futile. The shadowy figure was relentless, a tormentor that refused to release its grip on my life. I reached the breaking point one fateful night when, as I walked down a deserted alley, the figure finally caught up to me. It materialized before my eyes, a dark, amorphous shape that defied all logic. Its cold, unseen fingers grazed my skin, sending shivers of dread down my spine. As I stood face to face with the figure, I realized that it sought something more sinister than mere proximity. It wanted to merge with me, to become one with my being. In that moment of terror, I fought back with every ounce of strength left in me, and with a desperate, guttural scream, I tore myself away from its malevolent grasp. The figure dissipated, vanishing into the night, leaving me shaken and broken but somehow free. I staggered back to my apartment, my body trembling with exhaustion and fear. The nightmare was over, but its scars would haunt me for the rest of my days. I share this account as a warning to all who may feel the chilling presence of a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness. A presence that seeks to consume your very essence. Trust your instincts, seek help, and never underestimate the malevolent forces that can lurk in the shadows, waiting to claim their next victim. 2. The Kidnapper in the Night. It was a night like any other. The city's nocturnal hum had taken over, and I walked alone, a solitary figure navigating the dimly lit streets. The street lamps cast feeble pools of light, and the shadows seemed to stretch and elongate, merging with the inky blackness of the night. As I walked, I felt a faint unease, the kind of unease that nags at your mind when you're alone in the darkness. I quickened my pace, hoping to reach the well-lit main road ahead. My footsteps echoed eerily in the silence, and my heart began to race. Suddenly, as if conjured from the very darkness itself, a vice-like grip closed around my arm. I froze, my heart leaping into my throat as I turned to confront the source of my terror. A shadowy figure stood before me, their face hidden behind a grotesque mask. It was a mask that bore the twisted visage of a demonic creature, its eyes gleaming with malevolence. Panic surged through my veins, and I tried to pull away, but the figure's grip was unyielding. In the distance, I could hear the faint hum of an idling van, its headlights cutting through the darkness like predatory eyes. The figure, with unnatural strength, attempted to drag me toward the vehicle. My mind raced as I realized the intentions of this malevolent presence. It was a kidnapper in the night, and I was their prey. With a surge of adrenaline, I fought back with every ounce of strength I could muster. I screamed for help, the sound echoing through the desolate street. The figure's grip tightened, and for a moment, it seemed as though they might overpower me. But the thought of being dragged into that waiting van, into a fate too horrifying to contemplate, fueled my determination. With a desperate, primal instinct, I struck at the figure, my fists connecting with their mask. The mask fell away, revealing a face contorted with rage and madness. In that moment of vulnerability, I wrenched myself free and stumbled backward, gasping for breath. The kidnapper let out a guttural cry of frustration, and I watched in terror as they retreated into the darkness, vanishing like a wraith. I stumbled away from the scene, my heart pounding, my breath ragged. The adrenaline coursing through my veins kept me going, pushing me to find safety and help. The night had transformed into a living nightmare, and the terror of that encounter would forever haunt my dreams. I share this harrowing experience as a warning to those who walk alone in the night, to those who may encounter the malevolent intentions of a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness. Trust your instincts, fight with every ounce of strength, and never underestimate the darkness that can lurk just beyond the reach of the streetlights. 3. A night of murderous intent. The night was oppressively silent, save for the occasional hoot of an owl outside my window. Moonlight filtered through the curtains, casting a faint, eerie glow across my room. My slumber had been uneasy, plagued by restless dreams and a sense of unease that refused to abate. And then, as if summoned by the very shadows, I awoke with a start. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end, and a sense of impending doom washed over me. I turned my head, my eyes slowly adjusting to the dimly lit room, and there, at the foot of my bed, stood a figure shrouded in darkness, the malevolent intent palpable. As my eyes locked onto the intruder, a shiver of terror raced down my spine. The figure was obscured, their features hidden in the obscurity of the room, but their eyes gleamed with a chilling, predatory intensity. In their hand, a knife gleamed, its blade reflecting the faint moonlight like a deadly crescent. Time seemed to freeze as the gravity of the situation settled over me. The figure's intent was clear, etched in the cold, sinister glint of that blade. I had mere moments to react, to fight for my life in the face of this nightmarish intruder. With a surge of adrenaline, I propelled myself from the bed, my body reacting on pure instinct. The figure lunged forward, the blade slashing through the air where I had been mere seconds before. The sickening sound of the blade meeting empty air echoed through the room. My mind raced as I sought refuge, my heart pounding in my chest. The intruder pursued me, their steps eerily silent on the floor. I stumbled backward, my fingers fumbling for anything that could be used as a weapon. In the darkness, a plan formed. An escape route, a desperate bid for survival. I dashed toward the bedroom door, my breath ragged and desperate. The figure pursued, their malevolent presence an oppressive weight behind me. As I flung open the bedroom door and raced into the corridor, the figure was hot on my heels. Panic threatened to consume me, but I knew I had to keep moving to find help, to escape the clutches of this murderous intruder. The night air was cold and unforgiving as I burst through the front door, my footsteps echoing down the empty street. I screamed for help, my voice a desperate plea for salvation. Lights flickered on in neighboring houses, and the figure hesitated at the threshold of the doorway, the malevolent intent checked by the arrival of witnesses. Neighbors rushed to my side, their voices a chorus of concern and disbelief. The figure, realizing their sinister plan had been foiled, melted into the darkness, disappearing into the night like a ghostly specter. The police were called, and an investigation ensued, but the intruder was never found. I was left with the haunting knowledge that a malevolent presence had invaded my sanctum, a shadowy figure with murderous intent that had come terrifyingly close to ending my life. The night of murderous intent would forever be etched in my memory, a chilling reminder that danger can lurk in the most unexpected places, even in the sanctuary of one's own home. I share this account as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and a warning to all who may encounter a malevolent presence in the darkness, a presence that seeks to extinguish the light of life itself. 4. Stalking in the Moonlight. The relentless grip of paranoia had clung to me like a second skin, transforming the ordinary world into a labyrinth of shadows and uncertainty. I could no longer recall the last time I had felt truly safe. It was as if the world had become a sinister theater, and I was the unwilling star of a nightmarish production. The feeling of being watched had become an ever-present torment, a suffocating weight that bore down on my every thought and action. It began subtly, a prickling sensation on the back of my neck, an inexplicable shiver running down my spine when I walked alone in the dimly lit streets. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the certainty of being followed became undeniable. The relentless stalker, an unseen entity lurking in the shadows, had woven themselves into the fabric of my existence. Their silent presence trailed me wherever I went, like a shadow cast by an invisible sun. Every step I took, every turn I made, they were there, just out of sight but unmistakably close. I became hyper-aware of every movement, every sound, every fleeting glimpse of movement in the corners of my eyes. The feeling of being watched had grown suffocating, an oppressive weight that refused to relent. The fear of their intentions gnawed at the edges of my sanity. What did they want from me? Why had they chosen me as their target? The questions swirled in my mind like a never-ending tempest, their answers hidden in the enigmatic silence of my unseen pursuer. The stalker's presence extended beyond the physical realm, infiltrating my very dreams. Night after night, I would awaken in a cold sweat, convinced that their malevolent gaze was fixed upon me even in the solitude of my own mind. Sleep became a fleeting respite, a sanctuary tainted by the horrors of the waking world. Paranoia seeped into my relationships, rendering trust an elusive concept. I withdrew from friends and family, unable to escape the ever-present specter of the relentless stalker. I had become a prisoner of my own fear, a solitary figure consumed by the belief that danger lurked around every corner. I sought help, consulting experts in the realm of the supernatural, but their attempts to uncover the identity of my unseen tormentor proved futile. The stalker remained elusive, a phantom that defied all attempts to unmask them. My life had become a waking nightmare, a harrowing journey through a world shrouded in darkness and dread. The relentless stalker showed no signs of relenting, their silent pursuit an unending torment. As I write this account, I am haunted by the chilling realization that the relentless stalker still lurks in the shadows, their intentions unknown but undoubtedly malevolent. I share this story as a warning to all who may feel the suffocating grip of a relentless stalker, a presence that defies reason and invades the very essence of your existence. Trust your instincts, seek help, and never underestimate the sinister forces that can lurk in the periphery of your life. 5. The break-in at midnight. The night had been cloaked in an oppressive stillness, the silence broken only by the distant hum of passing cars. As I lay in bed, my senses attuned to the quietude of my home, an eerie unease settled over me, a premonition of impending doom that left me paralyzed. And then it happened. A deafening crash, the sound of shattering glass that shattered the fragile illusion of safety. My eyes snapped open, my heart leaping into my throat as I realized that the unthinkable had occurred. Someone had invaded my sanctuary, had breached the sanctity of my home. Panic surged through my veins as I strained to listen, my ears attuned to the ominous silence that followed the initial intrusion. The inky darkness of my room seemed to close in around me, the absence of light rendering my surroundings an indistinguishable void. With trembling hands, I fumbled for the bedside lamp, the harsh illumination cutting through the darkness like a blade. My breath caught in my throat as the room was bathed in light, revealing the scene of chaos before me. Shards of glass littered the floor, a sinister path leading from the shattered window to the heart of my home. The invader had crossed a terrifying threshold, their intentions unknown but undoubtedly sinister. Fear clung to me like a second skin as I realized that I was not alone. The relentless stalker, the shadowy figure that had tormented me for so long, had taken the audacious step of breaking into my sanctuary. Adrenaline coursed through my veins as I knew that I had mere moments to react, to confront the malevolent presence that lurked in the inky darkness. I moved cautiously, each step a treacherous journey through the perilous terrain of my own home. The ominous silence was shattered by the creaking of floorboards, a sinister reminder that I was not alone. The intruder was close, the malevolent presence an oppressive weight that bore down on me. I moved toward the source of the noise, my heart pounding, my senses heightened to an excruciating degree. The unknown horrors that awaited me seemed to lurk in every shadow, every corner of my home. And then, as I turned a corner, I saw them. A shadowy figure, their malevolent intent etched in the glint of their eyes. They stood there, an enigmatic silhouette in the darkness, a sinister embodiment of fear. In their hand, a gleaming object caught the dim light, an object that filled me with dread. The intruder's intentions were clear, and I knew that I had mere moments to fight for my life. With a surge of adrenaline, I confronted the figure, a desperate battle between survival and the unknown horrors of the night. The shadows seemed to close in around us, bearing witness to a struggle that would forever haunt my memories. As I write this account, the details of that night remain etched in my mind, a chilling reminder that danger can invade even the most sacred of spaces, that the malevolent forces that lurk in the darkness are capable of unspeakable horrors. I share this story as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and a warning to all who may face the unknown terrors that can breach the sanctity of their home. Which story caught your attention the most? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, stay safe. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Check out my website in the description below to see what I'm writing. And just below there are some suggestions related to what we talked about today. Peace.